A good morning to you. Welcome back to Morning Live. We now take a third and final look at your sport news for today. Well, we started off with this: increased prize money, new theme. One wonders what else is new in this year's edition of the Betway Summer Cup. Now, to talk about this, we've roped in Fundi Sithebe, who is the Full Racing CEO, and she's joined by Jonathan Blumberg, who is Betway's Head of Customer Experience. A good morning to you both. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Top of the morning. Always great to be here. Thank you.
Fundi, we've had you here a couple of times, so I'm going to start with Jonathan because you've never joined us before on Morning Live, and I want to talk about the increased prize money for the Betway Summer Cup because it's during what many say is a very tough economic times for us as South Africans, but you said no, we'll increase the prize money and we'll make it the biggest in the African continent.
Yeah, morning V. I think important to note, this is our third year. First year was very rushed. We built it on it in the second year. And we made a promise to ourselves from a commitment point of view that we were going to make this a bigger and better event as years pass by.
And Fundi, for you, making it bigger and better, I know when you speak about horse racing, there's just so much passion that comes through from you. Let's talk about how much you're looking forward to this edition, giving this increased prize money, and also talk to us about the theme and what the expectations are for this year.
So I think, as Jonathan said, we needed to definitely make it bigger and better, and we've built on it exponentially over the years. And I think having stakes price of 6 million rands, making it Africa's richest race now, is quite a huge accolade. And I think what it's going to do, it's going to really entice owners around the country to come and vie for that price and for that that special title, right? So I think thanks to Betway for really putting skin into the game and making it quite palatable for people around the country to come across. So we're looking forward to a really awesome day of quality racing. But I think from a theme perspective, we've launched the theme Silks in the City. And it's so profound on two levels. Silks being, you know, the owner's kind of colors that identify their jockeys, but also silks as in come dressed in your best, you know, so look at team, literally. That's what we mean.
Literally.
So we're looking forward to the fashion element. We will be also revealing in a couple of months, in a couple of weeks, some of the sponsors, the entertainment side, because we always say that the Summer Cup is the only race with the halftime show. So we're looking forward to that element being announced very soon.
And we're also looking forward to that element. Jonathan, I want to touch on your investment in sport because we see it increasing. I mean, we speak now about the Summer Cup, increased money, prize money, the richest race now in the African continent, but also your investment that we've seen recently in football. For you, how does that measure in terms of a return on investment? Because it's not often so easy to be able to say, this is exactly what we're getting out of it. And I mean, we've seen you increasing your involvement in sport across the globe.
So I think very difficult to measure, but I think first and foremost, we are a South African business as well as a global business. And I think most importantly, we're passionate. We're passionate about sport. We're passionate about this country. We found ourselves in a great position, if I could say so myself, in terms of a Springbok sponsorship, the Betway SA20, that's been an unbelievable event for us, together with now the PSL, the local PSL. And obviously, you know, taking in horse racing has always been a passion of mine. But it, you know, we only introduced horse racing about two and a half years ago. We led with football. But ultimately, look, it's our way of being seen. It's our way of playing a part in the industry. It's a way of us sharing our passion.
Speaking about sharing, I know that the last time I spoke to you about Fundi, we spoke about the profit share and how that distribution was going to look like in terms of the winnings. Speak to me about how it's going to look this time around and how it's going to profit those at the bottom of the food chain, because we used to speak about the groomsmen. This is what's happening with the groundsmen, rather. This is what's happening with them. So speak to me about how those elements are set to change.
So once again, we always say that they are pivotal to the day. They're pivotal to the industry for still. So apart from what we continue to do as Full Racing in terms of the benefits, funeral benefits, etc., I think the great partnership with Betway is going to once again ensure that the grooms that are in the main race, guaranteed already they're getting 20,000 rands in that main race on the day for the Summer Cup. And it's amazing how they are so competitive. And then they just bring their best professionals themselves on the day, you know. So it really also just embodies them being part of the day, so integral to making sure that we really have an overall day. So once again, glad to be partnering with Betway that shares the ethos of the partnership and ensuring that we continue to look after the welfare of our grooms.
We speak about a 2-3 year relationship now with the Summer Cup. When you look at other races that take place within South Africa, what would you like to see change in terms of the Summer Cup and what it offers, if anything at all?
So I think for me, the passion would be trying to make this the year-end party in Johannesburg. And I think that from a Betway point of view, everything that we kind of involved in, there's crowds involved, there's people. And I do understand that it's quite hard to get people to Turfentine, obviously from an area point of view and logistics. But I think the people of Joburg need to come out and need to experience it. It's the 30th of November. The year is almost done at that point. We are hoping with Full Racing to put on a good lineup of entertainment. And I think there's lots of fun to be had. It's outside of horse racing. It's a social event, and I think we need to push for that.
And we've spoken about it in the past, how most of your events at Full Racing, Fundi, allow it to be a family fun day because the adults come out to watch the horses, there's entertainment for the kids. Are we looking to have it like that once again, to just say it's a family affair? You don't have to find a babysitter for your children on the day.
Of course, because we're always so mindful that, you know, certain parents might want to come and bring their kids along, and we just don't want the kids to be sitting idle and bored, you know. So we're definitely going to have a kiddies area. That's also become quite a key thing for us, a key element. So it caters for the entire family, even from the pricing of the tickets, right? We're going to have a picnic spot, so families that want to do picnics together. We're going to have a kiddies play area, painting the faces, entertainment. But like Jonathan says, it really is going to be, apart from the main thing being horse racing, just a fun day out in the sun to party, to celebrate, to bring in the festive season. So it is a day that we make sure Full Racing caters for everybody across the spectrum.
Jonathan, I'm going to put you on the spot now. As soon as I ask Fundi this question, in terms of the horses, what is the competition likely going to look like for this edition? And then I'll put you on the spot.
At 6 bar, you best believe it's going to be super high. I think that the stakes literally are high because of the prize money, but also it's quite a coveted title, you know, to be the Summer Cup. You've got Muzi there on Royal Victory, the winners from last year. It is a coveted title. So I'm looking forward to when we do the barrier draw to just see how it plays out, but it's going to be absolutely amazing.
But for the barrier draw, any favorites for you at this moment?
No, I think...
Or are you supposed to be independent and impartial?
No, I can have an opinion, yes. No, I think way too early to say, but I think that it's imperative that the upcountry trainers and owners push to have their horses in the race. I think South Africa as a whole is under pressure in order to keep the graded races intact at where they are. So we need the highest merit rated horses to be competing in the best possible races to secure that. South Africa has a long history in horse racing, and I think that we need to protect the stature of these kind of races that, you know, whether it might be the Betway Summer Cup or the Durban July or the Met, and as well as many other group races. We need the best of the horses to come and compete. We've seen it before. The Cape Town guys do come here in particular and do win. And at 6 million rand, you would be foolish not to come.
Absolutely. We speak about the horses, we speak about the jockeys, but Fundi, we've also seen how the lives of these jockeys have been improved over the past couple of years. So as I start to wrap up with you, perhaps just speak to me about that and just an encouragement to the young child sitting at home. Horse riding is not an inexpensive sport. So how do we inspire the next generation of Abomuzi that we want to come up?
And I think that's precisely why an organization like Full Racing exists. So yes, it is about making sure that we put on the best horse racing that we can, but it is about ensuring that we take care of the grooms and we make sure that we give back to the communities in which we operate in. So it's quite vital. And so I think the SABC has been really great, a great partner by bringing in the Muzienis, the Kabelo Matsunyanes. You know, you'd have never thought in our lives that you'd see black jockeys that are winning at this, literally, it's an international stage. So part of our legacy basically has to be about what do we do to educate the children, you know, what do we do to make them aware of the opportunities. You know, there is the South African Jockey Academy, for example, that takes care of high school kids and also you can ride, but people just don't know about that. So our responsibility is to take the gospel out there and show people that it is possible. Even with me, for example, you know, black female, as a CEO of a horse racing operator, it's never happened before. And I'm hoping that I stand testament to the fact that it is a reality and it is possible.
And a horse owner. And as I say goodbye to both you and Jonathan, just a quick one in terms of the dates again for the Summer Cup.
30th November. Turf
30th of November 2024 to 15. That is where the Betway Summer Cup will be taking place, as we look forward to seeing the richest horse riding race out in the African continent. And that's the note in which we wrap up your sport news for today right here on Morning Live. But this is what you can still look forward to on the show this morning. Now, the Tutuzela care centers were established back in 2001 as an integrated strategy for the prevention and support for victims of gender-based violence. To talk more about the role of the centers, Morning Live will be joined shortly by Advocate Boni Karigamo, National Prosecuting Authority Special Director of Public Prosecutions, Head of Sexual Offences and Community Affairs Unit.